Lewis Hamilton has made it to the headlines yet again. If you've been watching F1 for the past decade or so, you know he's always managed to shock the press with his amazing victories. However, this time, he's in the news not because of his wins, but because of a dangerous crash. A crash with another veteran of the sport, Fernando Alonso. So make sure to watch the video in full to find out all about it. First up, how did the crash happen? Lewis Hamilton doesn't seem to be having the best season. In fact, he's facing the prospects of his first ever winless season. That would be devastating because in the past 10 years, the Briton has secured at least one, if not many, Grand Prix victories. This time around, the man has had a hard time even getting to the podium. Maybe he's out of form, or too old, or maybe his car is too slow. Whatever the reason, he's underperforming. He's underperforming so terribly that he consistently loses out to his own 24-year-old teammate, George Russell. Just when you thought that things couldn't get any worse, they did. Last weekend, at the Belgium Grand Prix, the British driver clashed with the Spanish veteran, after which the Mercedes was airborne for a good couple of seconds before crashing into the gravel. The accident did nothing to Alonso's Alpine. In fact, he even managed to get a staggering 5th place finish. However, it rendered Hamilton's Mercedes undrivable, forcing him to retire from the race. The two-time world champion Fernando had lined up 3rd on the grid. Along with him was the 7-time, yes, you heard that right, folks, but of course you already knew that, didn't you? World champion Hamilton. The Spaniard made a great start. He ended up seizing 2nd from Red Bull's 2nd driver, Sergio Perez. At the same time, the Briton moved up to 3rd and tried to overtake. Then, of course, you guys know what happened next. The Mercedes lifted high into the air. This ended his record of finishing every race this year. So that's it. That's pretty much how the crash happened. Now let's see how Alonso reacted. Next up, Alonso's surprise reaction. Fernando Alonso joined F1 in 2001. Wow, that's a long time ago. Hamilton joined in 2007. So when the British driver joined the sport, the 41-year-old was already there. Since then, they've raced together for all these years. Not for the same teams, of course, but on the same grid. There are no other two people who have known each other longer on the grid than these two. Hence, the Alpine driver's harsh reaction to the crash comes as quite a shock to us. Like, if they've been racing for this long, shouldn't they have been best buds right now? Well, we guess the concept of friendship doesn't really exist in this cutthroat sport. Anyways, it was quite entertaining, to say the least, listening to Alonso's radio after the crash. When speaking to the folks back at the paddock, Alonso stated, "What an closing the door from the outside. We had a mega start, but this guy only knows how to drive and start in first. Why does he close the door? I just don't understand. We don't know about you guys, but this sudden burst of anger made us laugh out loud for sure. You'd never expect he's going to end up being that angry, do you?" A lot of folks on Twitter really didn't like his reaction. Many were claiming it was harsh and that it was uncalled for. We guess you could say that. Many folks pointed out "this guy only knows how to drive and start in the first" part of his message. Because Hamilton has had more wins from non-pole positions than Alonso has had in his entire career. So these fans feel that the two are world apart, and Hamilton shouldn't really pay heed to his comments. But wait, did he take it to heart? Let's find out. How did Hamilton react to all this negativity? The 37-year-old is one of the kindest, nicest guys on the planet. However, he doesn't really let a chance to show his pettiness go away like that. When he was asked how he'd like to respond to the 41-year-old's harsh comments, he stated that he doesn't really have a response for that. He acknowledged things can get a little rough in the heat of the moment, and people say what they don't really mean. Though he did say that, "It's nice to know how he feels about me." There's the pettiness we talked about. He claimed that it's better now that all this hatred is out in the open. Ouch. He then straight up said that he's just simply not going to talk to the guy. However, Hamilton did acknowledge that this crash was all his fault. He claimed that he was grateful to still be alive after the devastating crash. He even looked back at the footage and stated that Fernando was in his blind spot and that he didn't give him enough space. He then proceeded to apologize to his team, stating how incredibly sorry he was. What a guy. His eyes are now set on the next race, since he's already started hitting the gym in preparation. Hamilton finished his interview by stating that during the crash, he looked at the ground and it was quite high up, and how he's grateful to still be be alive and in great shape. Well, let's hope the Briton is all set for the Dutch Grand Prix this week. Last, let's see if Abu Dhabi had anything to do with this crash. Okay, this might be a little too far-fetched, but is what happened in Abu Dhabi last year the real cause of this crash? Okay, just hear us out first. Hamilton was robbed of what would have been a record-breaking 8th World Championship. He couldn't even get out of the car after that. It was absolutely brutal. If you don't know, what happened was that the safety car had been deployed. When the race restarted, he was overtaken immediately by Max Verstappen. That should not have been allowed. Things got so crazy that 2 weeks ago, almost a year after this incident, Fixed, F1XED, was trending on Twitter. Ever since that, he just hasn't been himself. He's consistently underperforming, and he doesn't seem to have the same confidence on the track. It has affected his racing quite terribly. Yeah, part of the reason is also his terrible, heavy car, but he's also agitated because of this. Now, a mistake like last weekend's, that's not Hamilton. He's usually precise, so one does wonder if the Abu Dhabi incident has affected him to the point where he's upset all the time. We just hope he can recover from this and finally win the record-breaking 8th world title. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about some other crazy things happening in the world of F1. First, time for the big guns to join the sport. Audi has long been planning an entry into F1. In fact, they're the reason why Andretti Global couldn't be a real thing. Many current F1 bosses also seem to be on board with the idea, and the team with their motorsport history will definitely bring some more competition to the sport and make it interesting. Their decision was driven by the new powertrain rules, sustainability, and the absolute popularity of the sport. As a manufacturer, especially a premium manufacturer, winning in F1 can do wonders for your brand. Just look at Mercedes. Alfa Romeo will officially be leaving the sport starting in 2026, when Audi will join. Alfa Romeo is currently partnered up with Sauber, but Audi will take over the collaboration. So no new teams will be added to the grid. One of them will just be replaced. Moving on, Porsche is also entering F1. F1 in 2026 is going to be exciting. With some of the world's biggest manufacturers fighting for the title, the race to the top will surely be a very interesting one. However, it is worth noting that Porsche will not race as their own team. They will just be manufacturing the power units for Red Bull. Consequently, Red Bull's contract with Honda, something that has given them extreme benefit, will end. The new powertrain manufacturing facility will be located in Milton Keynes, United Kingdom. Is that where the downfall of Red Bull will start, or will they get stronger than ever? Well, we'll have to wait a couple of seasons to find out. All we know is that we're excited to see yet another German team join the league. Finishing up, what are the top 5 things we learned from the Belgium Grand Prix? First off, Verstappen is just too good. Completely unstoppable. Second, although Verstappen is amazing, the track did favor the Red Bull because of how it's set up. Number 3, Leclerc's misery run has not come to an end. Ferrari keeps letting him down time after time. When will it stop? Number 4, we learn that the summer break driver market drama wasn't good for anyone. It has harmed the reputations of folks involved, especially Alonso and Ocon. Last, we learn that the 2023 driver lineup could end up with a twist. As you watch this video, the FIA is deciding on what to do with all that drama with Alpine and McLaren. One thing is for sure though, folks, all this drama will create a great season 5 of Drive to Survive. Well, that's all we have for you guys today. Do you guys think Alonso's reaction to the crash was a bit harsh? Let us know all your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. See you guys next time. Bye.